Welcome to the second week of Free from Falls Online. This week we will discuss the fear of falling. After this session, you will be able to explore the fears you have about falling, recognize how these fears may affect your behaviors in everyday living, practice strategies that will help shift the attitudes and behaviors caused by your fears in a way that will enhance your abilities when dealing with falling. Falls and injuries caused by falls can be scary. Fear is a natural, protective response that keeps us away from dangerous situations. While fear can be protective, it can also inhibit or stop us from being engaged in our lives in the ways that we truly want. The most common response to fear is avoidance. This can cause people to limit and disengage from activities. Confidence levels can decrease as MS progresses, and when completing activities becomes challenging, people may give them up. Sometimes individuals simply accept that falls are a part of their lives. They may continue as they always have, often with a false confidence in their abilities. Others may avoid accepting changes in their abilities and continue to push themselves in a risky way in order to defy these changes. I want you to take some time over the next few days of this week to think about what contributes to your fears. Some of your responses may include prior falls and injuries, your confidence level about your balance, changes in your abilities, both physical and cognitive, embarrassment about falling, and expectations from your family or yourself. We often do not realize that a fearful response actually increases the risk of falling. Avoidance due to fear usually just perpetuates and increases that fear, which then results in decreased confidence. This decreased confidence can reduce activity levels, which can lead to increased problems with balance, decreased strength, and decreased endurance. Now I would like you to refer to the handout named Risky Habits That Can Lead to Falls. Throughout this week, I would like you to review this handout, read each statement, and check the appropriate response about your behaviors that may increase the risk of falls. These risky habits can include walking in dimly lit rooms, not using appropriate walking or standing support, or pushing oneself even when you are tired. On the other hand, sometimes being fearless or overconfident can lead to risky behaviors. High-risk thoughts and behaviors can include accepting that falling is normal, denying changes in your ability, which itself can contribute to a false sense of confidence, lack of knowledge about your options for support, and leaving devices behind on minimal or symptom-free days. These types of risky habits and behaviors can reduce our ability to safely go forward with our lives. Events and circumstances may cause us to modify or change our behaviors. The response is usually determined by the perceptions, beliefs, and emotions produced by a specific event. When the response is thoughtful, we are able to look beyond our perceptions and emotions and behave in a way that is supportive of our well-being. However, when our response is reactive, we run the risk of making irrational decisions based on our emotions. These reactions may feel safe, but in fact, they can be stifling or limiting. Now we will discuss the behavior response model. Just as an overview, oftentimes we respond to circumstances, such as a fall event, with our own perceptions, beliefs, and emotions experienced around this event. Our future behavior is oftentimes shaped by not only the event alone, but by our thoughts and feelings around them. Quite often, these responses are reactive rather than thoughtful. Here is an example. In this example, an individual states, I went to see a movie with friends and I tripped on the carpet and dropped popcorn on the floor. Someone had to clean it up for me. One thought that may come from this event is the following. It was really embarrassing. Everyone was looking at me. I really don't want this to happen again because it just causes too much trouble for others. One emotion that can surround this event is the following. The idea of going to the movies again makes me nervous. It's easy to trip on the carpet, and I feel angry that I can't make it to my seat without walking very slowly. In response, one may modify their behavior by saying, I will not go to the movie theater anymore. It is easier not to be a hassle to anyone. This is an example of how reactive responses can irrationally lead us to make decisions based on emotions that may feel safe, but may be inhibiting and lead to unnecessary decrease in activities. When the response is thoughtful, we are able to look beyond our perceptions and emotions and behave in a way that is supportive to our well-being. Here is an example of a thoughtful response. In this example, the individual faces the same event. They go to a movie theater with friends, trip on the carpet, and drop popcorn on the floor. It leads to embarrassment and also anger that this individual can't make it to his or her seat without walking very slowly. In this example, can you think of a thoughtful response? Oftentimes, a thoughtful response will require you to do three things. Stop and acknowledge your fears. Look at what and how you are doing your daily activities. And listen to yourself. Listen to how you respond to your fears. In this example, a thoughtful response may include walking into the movie theater only when it's well lit, or possibly even using an assistive device. Over this next week, I would like you to think about the following questions. Are you limiting your activities? On the other hand, are you doing activities with false confidence? How have you been reactive? And what can you change to elicit a more thoughtful response?